Latina's Yoga Room. Today we're going to do a class focusing on arm binds. So we're going to wrap the arms in all different kinds of shapes. And if you have any kind of shoulder sensitivity or injury going on, just be really mindful that you're not trying to go too deep towards a bind. There's no need for props today, although we are going to come into Malasana, a deep yoga squat. So if you've got kind of some funny knees and that doesn't sound all that great, you might like a pillow or a stool to help bring the floor closer to you so that you can squat a little higher. All right, we're going to begin in child's pose, so I'll see you on the mat. So coming to your child's pose, the knees can go a little wider. You could also have them narrow. Let's stretch the arms out in front of you and allow the forehead to rest down to the mat or maybe a blanket or pillow. So you're creating some space for the low back. Getting a stretch underneath the arms. Take a moment to slowly and gently rock side to side on the forehead. And pause at center. Take as big of an inhale as you can to fill the lungs up, even though you're slightly constricted given this child's pose. Take one of your biggest breaths in and then sigh the air out. So nice exhale, pressing the air against your mat. And then take two more of those. Fill the lungs up, big breath in, and sigh the air out for your exhale. Take one more. Then come to a steady inhale and exhale through the nose. Hover the forehead just off the mat and walk the hands a little step over towards the right. So you don't have to go very far. Release the forehead down and then take that right arm, reach it all the way around the low back, and you might find that left hip. Try and lift the chest towards the right side of the mat, right shoulder rolling open, gazes towards the right as well. Release that right arm long, take a walk back to center child's pose, and we'll go directly to the other side. Take it over towards the left, forehead down. That left arm can sweep all the way around and back. Gaze falls left. So physically try to roll that left shoulder open so it's not sinking down towards the mat. Re-extend that left arm forward, walk the hands to center, take another breath or two at your child's pose. And then let's come to your tabletop hands and knees. You might give a little kick or straighten through each of the legs just to reset the knee joints. And then step each foot to the back of the mat and find your high plank pose. Press the mat away from you to make space between the shoulder blades. Look straight down, either between the hands or towards the top of the mat. And then your next exhale, the hips go high, downward facing dog. You take a short half step in with the feet and then bend deeply into both of the knees, and one at a time, let each heel drop down towards the mat. Take a few more of those, starting to lengthen the backs of the legs. And then start to settle into your downward facing dog. With with your next inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. So you've got pounce pose. Hips are really high. You're on the balls of the feet. Feel free to take a light hop forward or step, feet to the top of the mat. Exhale for your fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Allow the arms to reach up and overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Sun A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, step, high plank pose. And exhale, glide forward. Let those elbows bend, squeeze them in. Upward face, press the tops of the feet down. And hips high, downward facing dog. Set your gaze point somewhere between the legs or maybe even lifted towards the belly button. And then inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Again, you can hop or step, but keep alternating the foot that you step with, if stepping, and then fold, exhale. Inhale, sweep those arms up again, and exhale, hands heart center. Let's find a chair pose, so a little bend into the knees, reach the arms up and overhead, soften the shoulders, the toes are light. Couple breaths here, standing pretty tall in your chair pose. And then let's take a couple of breaths where we sink the hips further. Try to lift those thumbs, arms out of your gaze. And then take it all the way down on the exhale, fold. Let's inhale to find plank pose and pause. So you're going to press the mat away from you. Hug your navel in. Know that this can also be done with your knees grounded to your mat. Take an inhale to bring your right hand up to your heart. Take an exhale to reach that arm forward like you're shaking someone's hand. Bring it back to your heart on your next inhale. And then land it down to the mat, exhale. Other side, inhale, left hand up. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, draw that thumb back. And exhale, down. One more each side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. Inhale, back. Exhale, hands down. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. Inhale, back. And exhale, down. Take one inhale here. Hips high, downward facing dog. Take a little half step in, walk the hands backwards to the feet, bend the knees deeply and take a ragdoll. So the knees soften, the hands take a hold of elbows, feel free to sway around, move around, come back to your breath. Then returns the hands to the mat, and let's walk back out, downward facing dog. Right leg rises into the air, three-legged dog. Start with the toes facing down so you have a nice square hip, a good stretch for that left leg. And then stack. Right hip on top of left, you should still see that foot in the air. Bend into that knee now, let the heel drop down towards the glute. And try to rotate that right shoulder down to the mat so you're getting a twist. Straighten that leg. You can lift your back heel for some clearance and step right foot forward. Setting up for your high lunge, wiggle the back toes back, lunge into that front knee, and your inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, take your twist to the right. So the left hand will come down to the outside of that right leg. You're staying nice and lifted, and your right arm can open all the way up behind you. Inhale, let's come back to center. Straighten that front leg now and scissor the inner thighs together. You'll feel your left hip come forward. Basket the hands behind the head, support your head and neck, and then take a little dive up and back, pressing the elbows behind you. Inhale back to center, rebend that front knee, arms lift. Warrior two, back heel down. Still that nice bend in your front knee. Let's take a half bind. So this left hand is going to wrap around your low back and really press the low back into that arm. Your tailbone will drop down. Lift this right palm up and reach all the way up and back to reverse your warrior two. So let's come back to center with just the right arm. Keep the left hand bound. Reach that right arm forward and drop it down to that thigh. And really rotate that left shoulder open behind you so you've got a half bound side angle. Then release that left arm. It pulls you back up to your warrior two. And we'll take it all the way down, windmill to the mat. Right foot steps back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Take a few slow, deep breaths here. And then let's lower the knees down to the mat. Revisit your tabletop. Extend your right leg in the air for your three-legged tabletop. Left arm will extend out in front of you. Inhale, lift the ends. And exhale, take a nice controlled crunch underneath. Inhale, press and lift. And exhale to crunch. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, extend, keep the leg in the air, but drop the hands down to the mat. So we're gonna work on some strong core balance here. Come to tented fingertips, ground the top of that left foot into the mat, a strong right leg, and then see if you're able to walk the hands closer and eventually extend the arms out like airplane wings. Land down if you took it. Hands walk forward again to stack the joints. Drop the right foot down and bring that heel towards center. You can sweep that left shin wider for some balance. Right arm now lifts up. You can circle that wrist. And reach the right arm towards the front of your mat. So nice side body stretch. Option to go a little bit further. Once more, accessing balance and strength. Come to tented left fingertips. Get a little bit lighter on that left hand, and it can also frame the head just like that right arm. One more strong breath in, and then let's lower. Left hand, right hand, turn to face forward. Let's keep that right foot on the mat. Left foot comes to meet at high plank pose. Exhale to take your low plank. Upward face, breath in, and downward dog, exhale. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Hop or step feet to the top of the mat and take a forward fold. Next breath in, rise up to standing, and exhale, hands heart center. So you can rest your hands at the hips. We're going to find a side body stretch. I'm just going to shift towards the side to help you visualize, but you don't have to move around. Inhale, the arms sweep up. Good. Let's step your right foot just off the side of the mat. Keep reaching those arms up. Right palm to the ceiling, left hand takes a hold of that wrist. Let's dive up and over to the left. If you'd like to go towards balance, lean more into that left foot and your right foot can float off of the mat. As you come back to center, cross that right foot just in front of the left one and bring hands to the hips. Coming to your eagle pose from here. So you'll have a little bend into both of the knees, and then you can just pick up that right foot so it floats off of the mat, or wrap it around that back calf. Keep sending that left hip forward, and then arms bend out by the sides. Bring your forearms into touch. You can stay here, or that right elbow dips underneath the left one. Try to lift the elbows and press the arms away from your face to make some space in the upper back. Let's unravel the arms to start. They can come back to hips, straighten that right leg out in front, give it a spin, and rest that right foot down. You can pedal out. Tree pose from here. Let's take that left knee, hug it in, and then open the hip. Left foot to your inner right thigh, and then hands can find heart center. Option to take this further, the arms can sweep up overhead. And we'll get into that right side body again. Left hand can come inside that right knee. Right arm can once again reach up and over. Then come back to center. Hands to heart. You can kick that leg out, pedal out that opposite foot, face forward, connect the hands, connect the feet. Take a breath in here. Stay for the exhale. And then hop the feet towards the edges of the mat, so pretty wide stance. The toes are going to angle out. Sweep the arms up, breath in, and let's come to your yoga squat malasana on the exhale. So if this isn't happening for you, something underneath the hips you can sit on. You could also stay in a catcher's stance. If this ever becomes too much, rest in a ragdoll. So we're working on stacking the shoulders over the hips. Well, let's take this right hand just off the side of the mat in front of that right foot, and the left arm will extend up. Exhale, open that left arm behind you for a twist, and then wrap it around your low back. So this left hand is by that right hip. You can stay here in the twist, in this half bind, or you can walk those right fingers forward and the arm comes in front of that shin and it works towards reaching behind you. Maybe the fingertips can touch or you find a bind. No matter the variation, you're lifting that left shoulder away from that left leg. Release to face forward. Walk the hands out in front of you. Tuck your chin to your chest. And then a work towards crane pose, Bakasana. The hands can come back to your mat. You come off of the heels a bit, and then you can step onto the balls of the feet. Bring the backs of the knees to the backs of the arms. Take a little lean out. Work in towards an arm balance. One or both feet can rise at the same time. And then let's take your step back, plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. You can breathe here for 4 or 5 more breaths, or you can find a child's pose. Then let's come to three-legged dog on the left side. Left leg rises into the air. Start with a nice straight leg, left toes facing downward. Right heel as close to the mat as you can get it. And then stack. Left hip on top of right. Then bend into that knee. Drop your left shoulder down. You're gazing underneath your right arm to add the twist. Re-straighten that left leg, square it off. Lift the back heel for space and step left foot to the top of the mat. Find your space between the 2 feet, long distance, and then arms extend up overhead. Let's take this high lunge twist towards the left. Torso left, right hand to that front thigh, and then open that left arm up behind you. Soften the shoulders, bring that right hip forward. Inhale, face forward. Let's re-straighten that front leg and basket the hands behind your head. Inhale, lift a little taller, and exhale to dive up and back. Come back to your high lunge, and then warrior 2, back heel dropping down. Let's take that half bind. So the right hand is going to swing behind you, working towards finding that front hip. Left arm up and reach it back. Reverse your warrior. Now think about pressing both hips evenly into that right arm behind you. Left arm comes out again. Take a lean forward and left elbow down. So we're in side angle pose. Try to roll that right shoulder open behind you. Now release that right arm up, come up to your warrior 2, and let's take it all the way down, hands to the mat. Left foot to step back, high plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, really pull your heart forward, and downward facing dog, exhale. Tabletop, knees come down to the mat, the hands underneath your shoulders. Let's set up that left leg in the air behind you, 3-legged tabletop. Press the heel out, right arm extends forward. Inhale to lift, and an exhale to crunch. Again, inhale, open, and exhale, crunch. Nice and smooth movement, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, extend, and the hand can come down. So here's where we're working on that tricky balance. The left leg stays lifted in the air. Come to tented fingertips. Press the top of that back foot down. So you've got your right foot, press it into the mat. And then climb up a little taller. You do have to lift the chest quite a bit here. And then the arms may flow out towards the sides like airplane wings with a little bit of turbulence. Release back down, drop the left foot to the back of the mat. You can swing this right shin wider, let the left heel come to center, and now the right arm, or rather left arm, reaches up, give it a spin. And then reach that left arm across, so grounded side angle pose. Furthermore, tent onto your right fingertips. Engage your core, press that left foot down to the mat, and you might be able to unload that right arm and reach it out, framing the head again. And then release. Let's have that left hand down. Right foot will come and meet that back foot, high plank pose. Let's go straight to downward facing dog, and then walk the hands backwards to the mat. feet are hips width distance. Take your peace fingers, loop your big toes. Inhale, straight arms, chest forward. Exhale to take your bend, Padangusthasana. Feel free to give the head a shake, the jaw a shuffle around. Inhale, straight arms. Exhale, let's walk back out, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Hop or step, feet to hands. And exhale, fold. Sweep up, Urdhva Hastasana, inhale. And exhale, hands heart center. So we'll come into that standing balance on the other side. So hands can rest at hips. Let's step the left foot wider towards the side of your mat. Inhale, the arms sweep up. Now we're going to take the left palm to the ceiling. Take a hold of that left wrist, lift it up, and take your side lean over towards the right. Balancing if you'd like it, lean into that right foot more and flex the ankle of that left foot so toes float. As you pass through center, cross the left foot just in front of the right one. Hands can rest at hips. We'll come into your eagle pose from here. So you have a little bend into both of the knees, and all you have to do is pick up that left foot. It can stay tented for balance, or it stays lifted and tries to wrap. Right hip forward. Add the arms, go wide, bring the forearms into touch, and now it's that left one that would be going underneath. A couple of solid, deep breaths here. Start by unraveling the arms. Left leg out, land it down. You can pedal both of the feet out. And then we'll come into a simple tree pose right side. Hug that right shin in, open the hip, and land your foot. Once you find your foot positioning, hands can rest at heart. Going further, arms can sweep overhead. Right hand can rest inside right leg if you'd like to go a little further. And then take one more side lean over towards the right. We'll all pass back through center, straightening that leg forward, resting it down, and pedaling to release the feet. Take a hop so the feet go a little wider and those toes angle off the side of the mat. Malasana as you inhale up, and exhale, allow the hips to sink down. Take whatever variation or props you found useful on the first side. Into the twist. Left hand down, right hand to your right thigh, and you're peeling and rotating that right shoulder open. Now here's where we're adding on. Only go as far as you did on the first side. We can reach that right arm back and it wraps around to find that left hip. This is a great place to stay. Keep trying to open that right shoulder. Further towards a full bind, you can walk the left arm out. It goes in front of the shin. That's where you find the bind. And even if your hands aren't touching behind you, we're still twisting towards the right. Unravel the shape you have. Walk those hands forward and again, tuck your chin to your chest. Hands back onto the mat. Let the hips rise and the toes will reface forward. You can give the knees a little shake. And then walk the hands over towards the right side of the mat and bend into your right knee. Allow the head to release heavily and gaze behind you. To the other side, so you can soften both of the legs as you pass through center, over towards the left. Now the right knee straightens and the left one is bending. And then pass back through center. Hands ground down as the feet step back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, inhale. And we'll meet in downward facing dog on the exhale. Let's come forward to sit. Straighten the legs out in front of you and imagine you were standing on the mat. So the big toe mound's touching, but you've got space in the heels. Hands are either down by your sides or you can flip the palms face up. Now they're not holding you up. You're sitting up nice and tall. Chest is slightly forward. Inhale, crown of the head to the ceiling. And then exhale, staff pose, a simple tucking of the chin. And inhale the chin to look forward, and you can release your hands. So we're going to come into some variations of arm binds on the ground. So find a little bend into both of your knees, and we're going to find an eagle wrap. So the right leg is going to come on top of the left one. Really squeeze the tops of the inner of the thighs together, so you're really tight there. You might be able to find more full expression of an eagle wrap where those toes tuck underneath the opposite calf, but it doesn't have to. Working towards a twist, the right hand extends back, left arm up, inhale, and exhale can slice right across that right thigh to twist. Now this is a wonderful place to stay, but again, the theme being arm binds, you could work towards an arm bind here. Well, what happened is this left hand is going to kind of thread right through the legs, and the shoulder rolls forward for internal rotation. Now that usually doesn't feel super great for some bodies. If that's you, keep that arm out in front of you. You could go towards another half bind or towards full by extending that right arm back and then reaching it around the low back. So full bind would be both hands wrapped around the back. Half bind could be one or the other. Gaze is behind you. All right, unravel those arms carefully. Face forward. Now bring the right heel towards the right side of the mat and the left heel towards the left side of the mat. The toes are going to face up and the knees have a little bend. Right arm now reaches up and then rest it just inside that right thigh and take a now counter turn over towards the left. Notice how the knees want to go in or out and keep them right at center. Now again, option to go deeper. You can start by leaning forward and again, internally rotate that right shoulder down and you can wrap that right arm somewhere behind you. If not, stay put. Working towards full bind or another half bind, left arm back, and it now wraps around trying to find hands or fingers. Rotate that left shoulder open. Notice that the knees want to splay. Bring the knees to center. And we'll all twist left no matter what's happening with the arms. Release and reface forward. Give the legs a straighten. You can bounce the knees out. And then take that right foot into the inner thigh. Hands go wide, sit up nice and tall, lean over and fold towards that left foot. Inhale, gaze forward, and exhale to release. That right leg can straighten out in front of you. Plant the feet on the mat. You might scoot yourself forward. We're going to come down to your backs. The arms extend, your heart is lifted. Try to take 2 or 3 controlled breaths to lower all the way down to your backs. And once you're there, hug the knees, rock side to side, or draw circles one direction, the other. Then plant the feet on the mat. Setting up for a bridge pose, arms down by your sides, press the feet into the mat. Let's bring some space to the front of the body. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale to sink those hips down. Right leg lifts up into the ceiling. Give a spin out. And then find that eagle leg wrap once again. So cross the right leg on top of the left. You might once again be able to find a more full expression of the leg bind. Let's mirror the arms. So arms out by your sides into those cactus shape. Bring the forearms out to touch in front of you, and you could once again take the full expression, right arm dipping underneath the left. So you've got your eagle supine laying on your back. We're going to take some crunches from here. So let's start by just lifting the feet off of the mat, hover the shoulders off of the mat, and exhale, crunch into center. Inhale, lengthen both ends, and exhale, crunch in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, return the feet down, the head down, or return the arms nice and wide. Let's take a moment to bump the hips just slightly over towards the right, and then let the knees or the legs fall to the left. Gaze can also drop towards the right. Inhale, face forward again. Unravel the legs. You can give a bicycle kick into the air. Take a hold around the legs to take a rock forward and backward, 1 or 2 rocks. Let's wash it away with a vinyasa. Hands down, feet step back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, low plank. Upward face and downward facing dog. Let's return to sit and take those binds going the opposite direction. So we'll start by drawing both heels a little closer to you and eagle wrap that left leg on top of the right one. So you can stay here or work a tighter wrap of the legs. Taking a simple twist, left hand back, right arm up, and exhale your twist to the left. Going further, you make some space between those legs. You may be able to thread that right arm through. Left hand can reach back, and it may wrap around. And then unravel what you have. Face forward, unwind the legs, and plant the feet wider. So the heels can be grounded. Knees are directly in line with the hips and the ankles. So try not to let the knees splay open or fall in. Counter twist, left hand up and then inside that left leg. Right arm reaches open and back. So you can start with the back arm by wrapping it around your low back. That could be your half bind. Then you can kind of lean forward and see about threading that left arm underneath. This one tends to be a little more accessible than the eagle leg wrap. Just notice that the knees are opening up, draw them in, and rotate towards the right. Unravel your binds, face forward. You can straighten the legs, give them a little shake. And then take your left foot to your inner thigh. Sit up tall, face that right foot, and then take your forward fold. Inhale, walk yourself upright and straighten both of the legs. So now plant the feet on the mat. You can scoot yourself forward, arms extend. Again, 2, 3, maybe even 4 breaths to slowly lower all the way down to your back. And then wrap the legs, rock, circles. Take a moment here. And then let's return the feet to the mat to find bridge pose. Arms down by your sides, feet are pressing. Inhale, the hips rise. This side, you might interlace the hands underneath your body. And then unbind. If you took those arms underneath you, hips return down to the mat. Let's lift left leg into the air. Give that ankle a quick spin. And then your eagle wrap. So the left leg on top of the right, finding the variation you took first side, and then let the arms cactus to the side mat. Bring the forearms into touch. And if you took the full arm wrap, it's the left one underneath the right. We'll start by floating the legs off of the mat and then lift the head and shoulders off of the mat. Exhale, take a crunch in. Inhale, extend as long as you can. And then exhale again, crunch in. Inhale and crunch. Last one, inhale and crunch. Inhale, release the feet down, unwind the arms, they can go wide. The hips are going to bump slightly towards the left so that the knees can fall right. The gaze can also fall opposite of the knees towards the left. Then plant the feet back on the mat, come back to center. Unravel the legs, give a bicycle kick into the air. Take one more wrap around the legs. And then let's take 3 or 4 rocks. You can hold behind the legs. Rock a good amount of times on the back, massaging out one side and the other. And then we'll come forward to your very final vinyasa. Plant the hands, step the feet back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Upward face and downward facing dog. Let's return to your backs and end class with a happy baby. Feet face the ceiling, draw those legs to the outer ribs. You can also just hold behind the legs. You can add some rocking once again, or even some straightening through one leg and the other. Wrap the arms around the knees again. Curl up into a small ball, nose towards the knees. And then let it all go as you open up into your Shavasana. Take a couple of deep breaths. Feel free to sigh the air out. And just rest. Just breathe. Enjoy these next few moments. Take a reawakening deep breath. Move around in the fingers and the toes. Chin can drop to one shoulder and the other. Stretch the arms overhead, point the toes forward, take a deep breath in. And let it go. Wrap the arms around the legs one last time. And take a light landing onto your right side. Come all the way up to a comfortable seated position. Feel free to keep your eyes lightly closed. Palms can rest at heart center. Sit up as tall as you can. Fill the lungs with air. And one more sigh out. Thank you for sharing all of your virtual energy with me today. The light in me deeply honors the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. Thanks for joining. I'll see you next time.